My name's Ron Beacom. I know many of you here. First, Andrew, I want to thank you for putting this together. Through my job, I get to interact with a lot of people and their passions, and I know this is something you're passionate about, so it's neat to see you act on that. My introduction to poetry didn't come in high school. At least I was probably introduced to it, but I didn't pay attention to it. But I had a instructor in college, second year English up at Northern Michigan. Her name was Dr. Carolyn Bay, and she was one of those teachers who I think opened us all up to poetry. I remember our first year English teacher was a taskmaster, and she was good about making us have the discipline to write and those types of things. And the second year English, she opened us up to that. And I want to compliment, and I've lost the name of her right now, but a junior high teacher for one of my boys who really opened up one of my sons to poetry and really made it come alive for him versus just something that's kind of dry. And then my other experiences with poetry are, I worked with an anchor man when I worked in TV news in Rochester, New York, and he had the ability to write clever poems for special occasions when people would retire or leave the station. And then when I came to this job, it came to me one day. I thought, well, maybe I can give that a shot. And I've done them for some occasions. Cheryl's heard a couple of those back in her days with the library. And I don't know if I've done any in a while for Melissa and Virginia to hear. And I don't do it every year, but I write some poems or I write a poem that kind of recaps the year for our circle of friends, usually at a holiday gathering. And I find when I write poetry, and I'm sure when anybody else does, it has to be inspiration. I know one time I got asked more of a commission type thing, no pay, but, well, we need you to write a poem on such and such. And it didn't work. I didn't have the inspiration. But normally you got to have those lines or those little phrases that start rolling around in your head that you just have to get down on paper. And usually the poem, well, most often the poems I write are goofy, goofy rhymes and all that. But the poem is actually a song that I brought in today. I'm not saying anything new when they say that songs are poems and songwriters are poets. And there's a line in this song, and maybe you'll hear it, and I'll point it out after the poem, that just captured for me those times. One of the things I struggle with is sometimes my head hits the pillow and I just cannot settle my brain down. Or if I wake up in the middle of the night and I just want to fall back asleep, but my mind just starts racing about everything going on, and I just can't settle my brain down. And there's a line in this song that when I heard it, it was just like, wow, he captured how I feel. And it didn't strike to me until I was sitting here that I got introduced to Rodney Crowell. He's a singer, songwriter, music producer, used to be married to Roseanne Cash. He's won Grammy Awards. But he put out an album called Fate's Right Hand, and there's a single from it called Fate's Right Hand that he performed in all places, the David Letterman show, which I won't get into that and my relationship to that show. But I had to go out and get the CD, and then this song is on the CD, and the song is called Time to Go Inward. And it has a line that when I heard the song, it really meant something to me. So it's more of a serious poem or song, but still strikes a chord. It's time to go inward, take a look at myself. Time to make the most of the time I've got left. Prison bars imagined are no less solid steel. Time to go inward, would you believe that I'm afraid to stare down the barrel of the choices that I've made. The ghost of bad decisions make mountains out of everything I feel. Outside my window, the wind weaves a path through the trees. The moon takes a shine to the shadows that fall on the leaves. It's time to go inward. I don't know if I can do it after all that I've become. I've been a fool for money, but it's vanity that always leaves me flat. It's time to go inward. Man, I hope that I have the nerve to take an inventory of the causes that I serve. They say a man without a conscience is like a man without a country, or something like that. It's time to go inward, time to be still. If I don't do it now, I don't believe I ever will. My mind is like a chatterbox whose noise pollutes the pathways to my soul. Time to go inward, time to get a grip, time to put an end to one long bad acid trip. I'm all out of excuses now for the way I've let my choices take a toll. Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and Minnie Pearl knew to do unto others the things you want done unto you. It's time to go inward and take a look at me, try to make some sense of life's illusions that I see, and try to solve the riddle of what it is I have to offer to this world. Now, there's a couple things in there. I'm not an old rock star, so I haven't had the long bad acid trip or been a fool for money. I don't make that much money. But, of course, the line in there, and you probably caught it, is my mind is like a chatterbox whose noise pollutes the pathways to my soul. It just struck a chord for me. So thank you, Andrew.